Today is the day, the last episode of this journey. Here we go. Okay, so I am running this marathon. I'm doing this thing. I'd be honest with you, super excited, which also means very nervous because they're the same exact feeling. Couple of the things that are on my mind is I have put in the work, that is clear. I've put in enough work for this moment, which is clear. And all the work to this point has really kind of shaped the person that I am today. And I'm proud of that. And the journey documenting this thing and really being able to look back on it has transformed some of the ways that I think, some of the ways that I operate. It has held me accountable. And today is sort of that culminating day. Let's get into the marathon strategy for today. So I have my route picked out. It should finish here at the driveway with the kids welcoming me back or rollerblading with me for the last, couple miles or so. I do have salted caramel goos that I will be bringing along. I've got my family, so these are the ones I use here. They sit well in my stomach, I don't mind them. I have 2 of those on me now. The family will meet me at about the 10-mile mark. They'll meet me again at the 18-mile mark, 17-mile mark, 17-mile mark. And then they'll meet me once more at like 22, just in case I need some water. They'll be bringing that. So that's the strategy going out. I'm going to enjoy the run itself. I took a comment or took a strategy from somebody that left me a comment here, which is the idea of visually doing something or physically doing something as you amass the miles. So Tom gave me a really good recommendation about crushing cans and then kind of throwing them in a backpack of sorts. So every mile that I do that, I'm going to basically crush a can, toss a can behind me just to kind of clip the miles and enjoy the run. It's a nice day. It's like 43 degrees. The wind is light right now. Sun is in and out. And we shall see how this goes. I'll bring you along for the run. And I will say this, if you're out there and you're doing something today like the Seth James Damore run, either today or tomorrow, whether you're doing a 5K, 10K, half marathon, whatever it is you're doing, kudos to you, because it does take a commitment and a grind and a journey of work and a body of work that makes you successful. So have at it, go get it. I'm gonna get on this run, let's go. 3 miles in. A nice, easy, steady pace. Gotta slow it back down a little bit. Keep it in and around 9:15 for a little while. Could be a good strategy, could be a really bad strategy. We shall see. Long way to go. Oh my God. I miss you guys so much. Thank you. That means a ton. Thank you. That's awesome. Thank you. Oh my God, I just saw one of my baseball guys and their families. That was unbelievable. It's hard enough to do this by yourself, but man, when you get a little burst like that with somebody you know standing on a corner and they didn't have to do this. So coming up on mile 10, and the idea of 16 more is intimidating, but that's where your mind wants to mess with you a little bit and tell you, hey, yeah, 16 is really hard, not gonna get it. But if you don't take over, flip that switch, tell yourself you can do it, take control of your thinking, it's possible. It becomes a little bit easier. The wind is out now. Here we go. Just got another kid who came out from my team wishing me well. That was amazing. A little boost there. Look at my kids. Oh, my baseball kids. Oh man. My own children, baseball kids, coaches. This is cool. Let's go. I don't know if I can keep up with them right now. I'll be second fastest on the team then at that point. Well, I appreciate it. Thank you guys. That was very nice. Halfway, stopped for some water. And I don't know what to think. Still got a long way to go. So if you're out there grinding too, kudos to you. I don't know what I need to hear right now. Got a lot of energy from that last group of the baseball kids and families out there supporting me. Had a gummy, and I gotta pop one more goo here. Let's go. Approaching 19, wind is out, I'm slow, this is gonna be tough, very tough. I got the baseball crew. Well, I don't know, it's gonna be hard to finish, to be honest with you here. I appreciate it. Had to walk. I just got to mile 20 and I have to walk a little bit here. My calves are searing pain, and my hamstrings are killing me right now. I can just feel everything seizing up, like to the point where I have to like stop and like stretch it out. Got a Gatorade here, so we'll see how the rest of this goes. I don't know. Keep posted. Okay, I am going to try to quickly recap this entire marathon race that I went through. First of all, can I just start off by saying, anybody that does this work, amazing that you're able to do it. This is by far the hardest thing that I have done to this point, running a marathon. I thought running the half marathon last year was obviously the hardest to that point, and I'm sure everything from here on out will be the hardest challenge that I take on, because I am willing to push myself and grow and be out of my comfort zone. I can tell you I was definitely out of my comfort zone when it came to running the entire distance. So I'll break this down into a few different things. I'll break this down into sort of the overall race recap, where I'll talk about my splits and where I was with that information. I'll talk about the fueling strategy or sort of the mishaps there. I'll talk about two big lessons that I take away from this thing. And then I'll talk about the future. Let me put up these splits, if I can, right here. And when I look through these splits, the big thing that I notice is that I went out way too fast. I heard all of the information about going slow. For whatever reason, it didn't sink in enough. Lesson learned there. I think I would have, if I had to go back out and do another marathon today, it would be going out at like 10:30. And maybe doing 6 miles in that first hour as enough of a base to have energy stores for the latter third of the actual marathon. So I would have changed that strategy to begin with. That's a big lesson learned there. As far as splits all the way through, it was about mile 18 is where things started to sort of unravel a bit for me. Now on my 20-mile run, I felt pretty good all the way through the entire run. Didn't experience any cramping. Matter of fact, on all of my long runs, I didn't experience any cramping, any sort of hydration issues, and I probably had less of a hydration strategy on those runs. But I think I probably needed something earlier. So when it comes to fueling, I had the gels I took about every 45 minutes, which that seemed to work. What I missed was the amount of water I should have been taking in earlier. Going forward, I would definitely make the adjustment, and the lesson learned here is to get that water in earlier, probably every 3 or 4 miles, just to see if I can have something. Because when I got to 19, as you can see in the video, I was cramping so hard in my calves and in my hamstrings to the point where they were almost like curling up and balling up that I had to stretch them out. I would go to stretch my hamstring and my calf would seize, left hamstring, right calf. And then, so fighting that battle, it just felt like it was more of a high. I'm sure there are many variables. One of the bigger variables that I'm thinking about here is that I think it came down to some of the hydration mishaps along the way. I did have a bottle of electrolytes, which I took twice at the stop at like 12, where I saw the baseball kids, and then again at 19. I probably would have backed off of that idea because I took the, going forward, I would just stick to water for me personally. I took some Gatorade on that last little bit with me because it was a small enough bottle to hold. And I felt like that actually made me nauseous in through miles 21 through 26. It really was starting to feel my stomach sort of unravel at that point. So I think staying away from Gatorade, sticking to just water would have made it a clearer decision for me. So again, lesson learned. Glad I did it on my own and was able to learn that. So I'll take these splits away and I'll just talk about the training block itself. And just one more thing about those splits that you saw there. The last hour was definitely spent in a sort of run walk fashion. I think I completed mile maybe 24 or 25 with a soft, slow run. Other than that, it was a mix of both intermittently. So, 30 seconds of a walk back to a run for 2 minutes or so and that sort of thing. So when it comes to training, the big takeaway that I have, and I won't hold you long on the training here, but the big takeaway that I have, and perhaps you're thinking about too, is if you're training for a marathon, I thought my block of time was good. December all the way through April, and then ready for something in May. Obviously, those timelines were moved up given the circumstances, but I feel like if I had to do it over right now, starting right now, I would definitely incorporate more longer runs of 2 hours-ish. So, perhaps 2:15 more in the earlier stages, which I didn't. I think I got caught in classifying longer runs as 90 minutes plus for me. And I feel like that was a little bit of a miscalculation on my end. I think those are definitely going to become intermediate runs going forward. And that is something I just have to look at, is how do I incorporate longer runs earlier in the training blocks so that my body becomes accustomed to pounding out those longer runs, really making them feel normal going forward. Other than that, I really wouldn't change much about the training block. I felt that it was conducive for running a marathon. I felt like it was it preserved the things that I wanted to preserve, like coaching and teaching and being with family. So I'm fine with that. Moving forward on this channel, you will see a lot of information coming out just about things that I'm learning or taking on, sort of my learning out loud. So conversations with educators, conversations with coaches. You'll probably hear and see more about challenges that I take on. One of the challenges that I'm thinking about taking on right now is more of a 30-day challenge for developing myself as a writer. And so I think you will see a lot of things. The one thing I won't let go of on this channel and will continue to explore and get better at is documenting my fitness journey. So I will basically be capturing one post a week that encompasses my training, fitness block, and any announcements leading up to my next training for an event. So I am looking ahead at half marathons and marathons into 2021 and beyond. As I get to those stages, I will probably go ahead and document every day. I felt like it was a great way to explore what I'm capable of, look back on things, hold me accountable. It gave me a creative purpose and an outlet, and it hopefully benefited others who have watched it, others who are maybe in the same boat as me, 45, taking this on for the first time and juggling life and training. And so I will continue to document as I get up to events. I'm thinking about the half marathon strategy and how I might improve that PR of 1:57 and what that might look like. So I would continue to document that, and you'll see the same sort of sequence. I will hopefully have an upgrade in cameras at that point, or something to take along on the runs. I think the camera footage bounces a little bit too much. I've got to come up with a stabilization plan there, and I'll definitely do that. But to anybody that has watched this series all the way through, or was curious about where I am on this journey, I really appreciate you watching. Your support, your comments, your feedback for me really have done wonders, and I'm so grateful for that. So thank you for watching. That closes out this series. I appreciate it. Thanks.